There it was, big, solid, much like a cathedral, certainly a seat of learning. Dad said it was the place from which teachers came. It was Longyear Hall. (1899). It was the year Northern State Normal School was created by the state to train teachers who could tend to the educational needs of the Upper Peninsula and its children. The northern campus began with the construction of a building made of Lake Superior sandstone quarried from the region. Northern's first academic building was named Longyear Hall.
Now, Mary Beecher Longyear, a teacher, and John M. Longyear, a land surveyor, were very concerned about the need for an educational facility for higher learning. So as a result, they donated the first 20 acres for Northern's first building. The state legislature approved $25,000 for the construction, which was supplemented by a $5,000 bond that the city of Marquette approved.
Opened in 1900, Longyear Hall was built to house classrooms, offices, and a room for assemblies. Unfortunately, fire devastated Longyear Hall in 1905. However, local residents rallied successfully to have it rebuilt. Longyear Hall reopened in 1907. It hosted countless professors and students before closing in 1975. In recognition of its architecture and role in history, Longyear Hall was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1980.
It is the main significant, well, actually the only significant building architecturally from Northern's beginning left on campus. Really represents the entire first half of Northern's history.
With Northern's centennial approaching in 1999, support has grown for preserving Longyear Hall. NMU alumni and many others have called for its preservation, including the American Association of University Women, Marquette Branch, local government, the Marquette County Historical Society, and NMU Students for Longyear.
Students for Longyear were also concerned that at Northern there's no longer a yearbook, and it's difficult for many students to rely or remember what their experiences were at Northern. So to have a symbol like Longyear Hall, and just to be there for as long as it has been, in a sense symbolizes Northern and its past.
According to a recent architectural study, Longyear Hall can be restored for an estimated cost of nearly $2.8 million. In his study, preservation architect John Meyer made this conclusion.
Longyear Hall is structurally sound to the extent that it can be saved and rehabilitated without infusing massive amounts of money to reconstruct the exterior shell. Investigation further reveals that other structural elements are in quite good condition for the age of the building. The physical condition of Longyear Hall is comparable to most buildings of similar age. In fact, considering that it has stood unused, unheated, and unmaintained since 1975, Longyear Hall is in quite good condition.
Longyear Hall serves as the gateway to Northern Michigan University. In his study, Mr. Meyer took advantage of Longyear Hall's ideal location. He proposed that the Cohodes Administration Building and Longyear Hall be connected to promote the use of both structures.
It is keyed and colored to the Cohodes Administration Building, and as the architect pointed out, with our climate, one of the nice features about it is that it could be joined to Cohodes.
The materials that are in the building, the sandstone, is so unique and so beautiful, and the architectural design for the building is something that can never be repeated, and it seems like it belongs on the campus as a focal point for the campus.
Like Northern, other Michigan campuses possess a blend of historic and modern buildings, including the University of Michigan and Eastern Michigan University. To preserve Longyear Hall, a strategic plan to implement architect Meyer's recommendations has been developed by a coalition of NMU faculty, staff, students, alumni, and concerned citizens, using input from university officials as well as from restoration and fundraising experts. The plan calls for Longyear Hall to be restored in phases. Phase 1 would cover exterior restoration, and Phase 2, interior restoration. The plan stipulates that largely private funds be tapped to restore Longyear Hall, so NMU's general fund will not be adversely impacted. Funds would come from many sources, including Northern's Longyear Hall Restoration Fund, established with private contributions, as well as from foundations and government grants. Restoration offers many possible uses for Longyear Hall. It has been suggested by faculty, staff, students, alumni, and Marquette residents through a survey and meetings that Longyear Hall should be a multiple-use facility and house the following: NMU Welcome and Alumni Center, NMU Museum and Archives, including a room honoring the late John Volker, exhibit space for Northern's permanent art collection and work by faculty, staff, students, and community artists. A turn-of-the-century replica classroom. Space for banquets, conferences, and cultural events, including alumni gatherings. Restaurant or coffee house, possibly operated by students or a concessionaire, and office space for a student ombudsman.
I think the building could be used very effectively for a visitor welcome alumni heritage center. I think it would make alumni or visitors or whoever, prospective students, just feel that Northern's really interested in them. Northern's provided this visitor center for them, and Northern just wants to welcome them, make them feel special. And I think as visitors and alumni and so on feel special, it's going to make them feel prouder of Northern. And I think that will have an effect on their identity with Northern, the way they give to Northern, a whole range of things that I think will benefit Northern.
That's why I think it's a wonderful place to center the alumni office, and I think it's a wonderful place to have for a historical collection for the whole university, not just alumni history.
To successfully implement its strategic plan, the Coalition to Save Historic Longyear Hall is seeking cooperation and support from NMU.
We're really excited that this project's a very doable project and that it can be done, and our hope is that it will be done in time for the Northern Centennial in 1999.
There are no other buildings still standing that go back any further than, I believe, 1950. And Longyear Hall not only is Northern's past, but it ought to become its present heritage in terms of a place where alumni come back and reminisce like I'm reminiscing right now